Silver 604 again. RFE for RFI. That's a good signal, man. S9 plus 40. Shit. What else do I got? Jazz from Cuba. I was gonna guess. I've been off on everything tonight, so 6060842. 6060 Radio Havana, Cuba. I got it. Nailed one. Okay, 6080. Ooh, that guy's buried. Radio Novas de Paz, Puerto Rico. Can I tune it in better? I have an antenna that I can spin around and aim it. And a stationary one. About the same. If I want to hear Brazil, I'll go to a different frequency entirely. I got a bunch of stations I can listen to there. 6165. Who's this? Havana, Cuba. Top of the hour. It's almost time for a newscast. We can get an ID here. We find a fat station for us. We're going up near Pirates now, where the pirates hang out. I don't expect to see anything. We got like a few seconds. We can get an ID here. Let's find a good station to listen to. Let's see. Oh. 7255. Oof. Here we go. It's time. $7255. No ID, so we gotta look it up. I really wanted an ID. Voice of Nigeria. Crazy story there. It's definitely Radio Nigeria. But what they do, it's being broadcast from Ikorodu, so let's look that up and see. Holy shit, we're actually catching it from Ikorodu. Wow, I gotta write this down. This is good. Because normally I catch the Voice of Nigeria as they rebroadcast from Florida. They rent time from a brokered transmitter and they transmit from Florida. But now I'm actually hearing it from Nigeria. This is quite a catch. Okay, so Voice of Nigeria 7255. I like to write down what time I heard it to. 0601 Greenwich Mean Time. I write down different characteristics of the signal. Here we see S9 plus 17. That's signal strength. And whether or not it fades a whole lot. Some minor fades. Other characteristics of what I'm hearing, like a male announcer at top of the hour. And whether it's news or music or some kind of entertainment program. Sounds like news. I make a note if there's any interference that I can hear or any other interference around. There's a station here, or maybe like an artifact of another station that's bleeding over and creating interference here. But overall, it's not a bad signal. It's almost armchair level. I would have to turn it up, but I don't want to turn it up too loud because people are sleeping. As soon as I finish writing this stuff down, I got a little story for you. I'll be right back. I have to post on social media something here. This stand is really a drag, man. Fucking stupid shit. Everything's freaking Polish engineering up in this mug. You know, I can say that because I'm a Polish person. But man, I got shit hanging by toilet paper and chewing gum, man. I swear. It's terrible. It's fucking so ghetto. Well, that's what you get for being a poor person. I'm gonna write this stuff down and I'll be right back. I got a little commentary on the voice of Nigeria for you. Here's a magic notebook with all my notes. It'll be museum ready someday. This is gonna be a huge deal. Okay, no interference. No, it's called. God damn it. Hack after hack after hack. No wonder. Duct tape, baby. I can't even tear it with my hands. What has happened to me? I'm a shadow of what I used to be. All right. Stable. How embarrassing. What a fucking piece of shit presentation. Okay, now I'm gonna pause. I'll be right back. I just need to pause the video for a second while I post on the social media here. Bear with me. Don't want to dox myself again. My voice. All right. Back. Now let's tune this thing a little bit better. I'm trying to avoid that whistle. Now that's not a bad signal. It's actually coming from Nigeria, not Florida. Nigeria usually brokers time from other shortwave broadcasters that happen to have a bunch of towers up. And one of them's down in Florida, like WRMI, like down in Okeechobee, Florida. Sorry, I have a stutter sometimes. Um, anyway, so it's really cool that I can hear it because I usually hear them being broadcast from Florida, but this time they're actually broadcasting from Nigeria. It's kind of a treat. So I've written this down in my logbook because it is a bit of a momentous occasion. I like to, life is kind of weird for me, so these little things add up and they make me happy, and that's what I need. So anyway, I'm just excited to hear the voice of Nigeria actually coming from Nigeria and not being rebroadcast from Florida. Make an effort, man. So anyway, recently the voice of Nigeria just had a huge shakeup, and the Voice of America broadcasting to Nigeria in Hausa language had a major shakeup too. Most of the journalist staff, the broadcast staff, got fired. They were taking bribes, or what amounted to taking bribes from diplomats from Nigeria in order to kind of look the other way. There's a lot of shit going on in that country, man. And these broadcasters were taking money in order to kind of not not publicize this negative stuff that's going on, this corruption that's happening in that country. It's kind of a shame, but it's really interesting anyway because it's a hobby of mine. I like radio. It's just when I was reading about this stuff, it was fascinating because I know these people. I don't know them, but I've been listening to them since I was a kid. The Voice of Nigeria has always been one of my favorites. Their music. I'm getting ooh. Uh, so yeah, when I was a kid, I used to listen to Voice of Nigeria. The music was great. I had many cassette tapes of music that I'd listen to and would steal from over the years and incorporate it into things I was doing. Many years down the road, I still have the interval signal in my head. I learned how to play on guitar, and I would try to incorporate it into songs that I was like involved with at the time. Anyway, this is Voice of Nigeria now, coming from Nigeria. The signal's not that bad. It could be better, and I'm sorry if you can't hear it. I can hear it okay, but it is pretty, the static is pretty heavy, but that's what you kind of expect. At least it's not crackly, because I have a pretty high speed series of antennas and I got a nice half mile of copper wire laid out in different kind of configurations in order to be able to hear this shit. All right, I said a bad word. There you go, cleared up some of that. Some of that mess. I have a steerable antenna and I can aim it. I'm not going to show you that. I have to keep some shit kind of secure. OPSEC, a little bit. Have you had enough yet? Yeah. Let's get rid of that whistle. We might lose music too, but anyway, we might be able to hear the signal better. It actually does sound better that way. I can't. Using the sideband technique really didn't work that well. That's because it's kind of weak to begin with. Even though I'm at S9 plus 32, most of that is the noise floor anyway. I can't really do too much about that. Actually, I can, but we lose the signal too. That's a tough tune, man. It's starting to really fade out. I can't do anything about it. I can only do so much, man. I can only abuse so many electrons, man, and it's up to what nature gives me. If nature gives me 2 electrons, well, I can definitely use those too, but I'd rather have trillions. 7210. That's my favorite Havana Cuba station. That's the one that gets rad. They yell a lot. Those guys get on there on that frequency and they just go for it. I don't know why that one's any different. Oh, because it's near ham stuff, and a lot of hams listen, and a lot of Cubans that have left Cuba, come to America and they get on ham radios and they talk shit to each other over there in Cuba and Argentina. It's pretty funny. But right now they're just broadcasting stuff. So who's 7295? Let's see. That'll be, oh, it could be any one of these. Let's try to get the language. That's tough, man. So it's kind of Arabic with those glottal stops and shit. So Hindi, it's All India Radio, I think. Actually, nothing found there. It could be a Radio Algerian Holy Quran. Seven 325. Nobody joining in? Nobody joining in. Okay, All India Radio coming at you. Probably. That's what it sounds like. I'm gonna pass ban this bad boy. 7360 French. The Vatican Radio? I don't think so. Not right now. It's not even time. They're not due for another 13 hours. Who's even close? 620. None of these are close. This is frustrating because all the schedules are changing and no one's published them all yet. Let's see if I can pick it out. I'll try to deduce who it is. This is where I've been screwing up all day. I've been deducing wrong. I've been wrong all day long. And it really has caused me some problems. Mentally. Confidence. Moving on. I don't know who that is. I don't even care anymore. Let's notch out that birdie and hit center frequency. That's a horrible copy, man. Shit is going downhill. 7390. Can't even hear it. I'm just going to find something decent for you guys. Overmodulated China radio. Boy, oh boy. Such a powerful signal. What a waste of energy. It sounds like shit.
Please send us your response cards by email at wrnoradio@maila.net.
What the
请把你们的回音卡寄给我们。
Okay, yeah, WRNO, New Orleans. They rebroadcast uh, or they broker shows on behalf of whoever, and that would include religious broadcasters who would broadcast in Chinese, perhaps, or maybe a government agency broadcasting in Chinese to wherever they want to aim it to. Oh, look, there's another carrier right next to it. Let's see if I can play with this guy here and see who he is. Real close though, man. Oh no, he's getting wiped out by RNO. Maybe I can spin the antenna around and dial it in a little bit better. Hey. I almost can, man. Holy crab nuggets. Wow, I just damn near effectively did it. Wow, man. Freaking powerhouse WRNO, man, beaming straight at my freaking house. Looks like I can kind of skirt right by it and pick up the station that's right next to it. Let me mess with the phase a little bit. This is tough. It's fun though. Almost. Almost, baby. Well, I can get real close, man, but WRNO is just too strong. F those guys. I'm moving on. That turned out to be not much fun anymore. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, like that's gonna happen. Alright, anyway. Let's see if I can knock down those freaking QRM blobs. I had them down earlier, but I had to retune and lost all my settings. I'm trying to get rid of those big bars because they're just interference coming from a fluorescent lamp somewhere in the neighborhood. And the signal's either coming straight up at me or straight down because I have an antenna that's steerable and I can't steer away from it. Any angle I try, man, it just doesn't seem to really drop. We'll try this. Going up. All right, a little bit. Back up again. Now we try to smooth it with our knobs. I got some outboard gear. I'm trying to reduce the gain or kind of phase out the noise. At least visually, so I can see underneath. I might not be able to hear it, but at least I'll be able to see. That's the crazy thing about this shit. Pretty good, boss. A little bit more. Come on, man. Some frequencies are better at being able to do this, but some are not. I got real close there. This might be about as good as I can get. Which is zero noise phasing. Well, that sucks. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. digital signal. It's a radio fax. I don't do those anymore, man, because my sound card's kind of hosed. I've optimized this audio for radio. It was optimized for audio, but now it's optimized for radio, and the audio chain is kind of screwed. Who's 9420? Radio Saudi, right? Work with me. Helleniki Radiophonia from Greece. Great station. And they're live. They've been live for an hour and a half. If only they were coming in stronger. During the day, they come in real good, and they always play the greatest music. Can only go up to 11s. Man, it's not looking good up here. Havana, Cuba. Radio France Internationale. Man, I missed that one too. So I'm probably batting 15% today. There's some stations I already know what they are, and some I'm just guessing out of sheer deduction. Like a 2 or 3 second, I go through over a couple scenarios in my head, and I make a snap judgment on who I think it is. So I'm 85% wrong today, and I'm having a good day. I mean, it's like not like I'm depressed or something, and my mind is just off. But I can't chalk it up to what it is. I've just been off identifying stations all day, and it's pissed me off because I don't like being wrong, and especially about this. I like to think I know more than most of my peers, in the industry. It's a hobby, man. I spend a lot of time doing it. I like to think I'm good at it. I like to make a job out of it. But, I'm not that good. I'm just some jerk off. Let's turn that shit down. System sounds, where are you? Muted. Let's go back down here to where we normally start right here, because if Radio North Korea is on, that's a good place to start from. Maybe we start on 3320. Pretty much always. Just because it's fun. You never know when you're going to get it. Go there all day long, we just never know. We're getting into some ham radio shit. Let's check these guys out. Technician nerds like us. Except they talk. I listen. There's a contest going on. They try to talk to as many people as they can. It's kind of neat. That's always welcome. Just making contacts and crap. It's fun. Oh, there's a lot going on. Maybe we can find some weird clandestine shit. Hang on. I try to look for out-of-band stuff. Stuff that looks like it might not belong. And these guys this right here is at the top of the ham band, so I like to see sometimes people slip out and have little private conversations amongst themselves, even though it's not really private, or maybe military people sneak out and use ham radios. I've seen that before. A lot of folks can modify ham radios to go just outside the band, and they have their little conversations outside of a ham band, like fishermen and shit like that. Some military folks, a lot of special operations units operate outside the traditional frequency bands. You'll find that quite a bit. Not quite a bit, but you used to find it a lot. Nowadays, the operators use sat phones and yelling real loud. I'm joking, but anyway, let's kind of creep up the waves, creep up the band a little bit, and move around. See what else is going on. Oh, there's a big signal. Religious broadcaster. That's a good signal, man. Really good. Oh, Radio Clube de Para from Brazil. Now that might not sound good to you, but to me that sounds wonderful. Speed this shit up a bit. I'm scanning faster than British Broadcasting Corporation, again on Ascension Island, out in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean, between South America and South Africa. Crazy spot, teeny island, big radio transmitters. (6155) is Adventist World Radio, transmitting from Nyon, Germany. Nauen, whatever. Probably. Maybe they're doing like a mass, broadcast or whatever. I don't know yet. Station ID in 25 minutes. Who knows if I'll be awake? It's already 1:30 in the morning here. I just have to rake leaves tomorrow. I would like to thank all 0 of you for joining me and subscribing. From what international? 7345, Radio Something International. Radio China International? China Radio International. Damn it. Someday it'll be something special. Anyway. 7390. Sounds far away. Barely modulating. Don't put a plus sign in there. Oh, Radio France International. Yeah. And Greece again. I need to put that on the map. Maybe I've already got it. Anyway. I should probably show you the map before I sign off here. It is kind of cool. I was looking for a wall-sized map that would take up a whole like wall of a room. Whatever, like it would come in pieces. But I found something even cooler. It's like a scratch-off map. It's like 2 by 3, 2 feet by 3 feet or whatever. And when you, it's meant for traveling. Like when you travel to a country, you'd scratch it off. Well, I had this idea where if I hang it up, if I hear a country, I'll scratch it off and put a pin in it with a flag that tells me when I heard it or characteristics of the station. I'll show you that in a second. I still want the